So I think there's probably some entrepreneurs in this class, or you wouldn't be interested in this stuff. Characteristics of an entrepreneur. Now, this is my look at entrepreneurs. Do they have the right DNA? And what I mean by that, are they the type of person that really is adamant about what they want to do? Do they have that spark in them that says, yeah, no matter what happens, I'm just going to get it done? That leads into, do they have a real passion for their idea? Because most entrepreneurs have a real passion for doing something. Whether it's one idea or two ideas, they just won't let it go. In fact, one of the first tests that we run with some of the young entrepreneurs at the University of Southern Mississippi is I will give them an assignment that they absolutely have to do, and it's usually around some business plan or getting some data, something. And I said, you can't talk to us until you come back with that. And so they'll come back with it. And then I'll just raise the bar. Okay, now you got to go get this. It's like, thank you, sir, I'll have another kind of routine, right? But the real entrepreneurs come back, and they come back faster, and they come back more often. And that's when you know they're worth spending your time with, that they really want to do it. And most of them fail on their first one or two tries. In fact, a lot of the really good entrepreneurs that I've worked with over the years, in fact, I have a very good friend on the West Coast that's a very successful entrepreneur that basically went belly up 3 times before he got it right. And I'll never forget his pitch to some investors. They said, well, you're just not successful. You're not really good at this. You've kind of done it wrong 3 times. And his answer was, of course I have, but I got it this time. This time I'm going to get it right. And, he got the check, and he became a successful guy. But it took him 3 times. I'm not saying he's the brightest guy in the world. It took him 3 times to get it right, But he was selling all the freaking time. So he had passion for his ideas. And tenacity. This guy just has tenacity. He just won't let it go. The other thing I like about him, and I've seen in a few other really, really special entrepreneurs, is they're chameleons. And what I mean by that is most of the work that I do is with tech-based companies. So they're technology-based people. But then they have to learn how to be a finance person. They have to learn how to do the numbers. They have to learn how to be an operations person. They learn how to be an HR manager, deal with people, work with people, get the best out of people. And they have to learn how to be a CEO eventually. And that's not easy. And you don't find that many people. So when you think about entrepreneurship, you have to think about all those roles you're going to have to play before you even begin to taste success, okay? And then the last one is you got to know when to walk away, And it's not going to happen or it's not going to work. If you're a real entrepreneur, you have another idea. Sometimes you just have to kind of kill it and move on. It's toughest to kill something that you have so much passion for. The other thing is sometimes you're not the CEO. You're not going to be the CEO. The company's grown. Running a company that has a couple $1 million in revenue and running a company that has $50 million in revenue and then running a company that has hundreds of $millions in revenue is a totally different skill set. And not many people can do that. So eventually you might be asked to leave. And you're the one that started it. We did a startup on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, a material science business. And the guy that started it and had all the technology, eventually we reached that point where he just had to go, And he understood it, and he agreed with it. And we later sold the company, but he knew that there was nothing else he could do for the company. So we asked him to come in one day and, pack his stuff and get going. And that was a tough day, to see a founder having to leave and give up, the own company. I mean, he still stayed involved in it in the rear, but he wasn't the front guy anymore, It's a tough day, especially when you're friends with them, But in this game, you better be able to separate friendship and business, all right? You better be able to do that because it will come to that, one way or the other.